One day after school, I ran into a god. He asked me, 750 on the college entrance exam or 75 million bucks? Which one? Like, that's even a question? Every second you hesitate is an insult to that 75 million. But in the end, I chose the 750, all because the night before the exam, I stumbled across this post online. The OP asked, 75 million cash or a perfect score on the college exam, what do you pick? I laughed. Bro, seriously? College grads are a dime a dozen. With 75 mil, I could hire a whole army to work for me, unless I could actually ace the exam and become the top scorer. That'd be kinda sick too. The OP instantly clapped back. Pick the exam and you'll nail a perfect score, plus unlock brand new problem-solving abilities. But tell no one, or it all disappears. I thought he was trolling, so I just replied, fine, if it's real, I'll take the perfect score. If I actually became the top scorer, my ancestors would be popping off from their graves. Then I tossed my phone and knocked out. Next morning, they handed out the exam. I took one look at it, and boom, my whole body buzzed. Answers just started flooding into my brain. More specifically, for every question I didn't know, one glance and the perfect answer just appeared. I held my breath and realized my handwriting, which used to look like chicken scratch, suddenly looked like a calligrapher's. My eyes went wide. This had to be a penmanship bonus, because even copying a perfect answer word for word usually costs you a point or two. So I blazed through the exam and turned it in. Outside the testing center, I grabbed a pen to test this new handwriting, wrote, I'm that guy. Still absolute fire. Honestly, with handwriting like this, I could make a name for myself as a calligrapher alone. This discovery had me going crazy. Just from the language arts section, I already unlocked something insane. Then came the afternoon math exam. I was still going off. Every problem instantly had hundreds of solutions popping up in my head. Some of those approaches were beyond anything I'd ever learned. Straight up methods that don't even exist yet. When math ended, the whole room was crying. I just looked it up. That last question was college level math. These exam writers are insane. The rest of the exams? I rolled through every single one, and my brain kept unlocking new skills that could literally change the world. When I was the first one to walk out, the other students just stared. Did this dude turn in a blank sheet or something? I didn't bother. I just left them with a look that said, you wouldn't understand. 2 days later, thousands of teachers were grading at their computers, and the Southwest grading group led Chen Qiu was pacing the room telling everyone, not a single mistake allowed. He'd barely finished saying, one wrong call can change a kid's whole life, when one of the graders suddenly jumped up from their seat. Chen Qiu snapped at them, but the grader looked shocked. Head Chen, come look at this. I think this might be a perfect score essay. Everyone froze. We just started and there's already a perfect score essay? Chen Qiu rushed over to the screen himself. One look and his whole expression changed. This handwriting is insane. Even if the content was garbage, I'd still want to give it full marks on penmanship. Then he read the content, and Chen Qiu got full body chills. This kid captured the entire rise and fall of Chinese civilization in just 1,000 words. He straight up yelled, report it! Report it now! This might be the first perfect score essay to come out of our region this year. Later that day, math grading started, and another teacher freaked out. Something's wrong with this paper. Every answer is correct, but none of the work makes any sense. That scene kept repeating all the way through. When scores finally dropped, I hit a perfect score and took the #1 spot in the whole country. The internet lost its mind. My classmates were absolutely done. This dude was barely trying all year. Turns out he's actually a top-tier genius. But the ones even more shook than my classmates were the professors on the grading review committee. They couldn't figure out how I wrote those math solutions, because nobody in the world had ever used those methods before. Top universities all started blowing up my phone trying to get their acceptance letter to me first. My parents saw the news too. My dad was going nuts. Babe, did you see this? Some kid named Lu Chuan just got a perfect score. I shuffled out of my room and casually said, what if that Lu Chuan is me? I pulled out my phone to check my score, and 750 nearly blinded both of them. My dad stood there speechless, then bolted for the door to go check if our ancestors' graves were on fire. I pulled him back and told them both, I'm not going to college. Instead, I'm going to publicly call out the exam committee and tell them to make next year's test harder. For everyone else, the exam is about getting into college. For me, it's about leveling up. Because every time I take the exam, I gain the scientific knowledge behind every question, putting me on the path to becoming a world-class mathematician or physicist. I even thought about certain countries that have been blocking our tech to hold us back. What if those restricted technologies just showed up as exam questions? Wouldn't that solve everything? Of course, I couldn't tell anyone any of this. My parents only agreed after I promised to go to college once I finished the second exam. The next day, a massive crowd of reporters showed up, along with leaders from several top universities, and they were already fighting each other before they even got inside. The three of us were barely out the door when we got completely swarmed. University reps rushed my parents from every direction, throwing out crazy offers. Some offered full tuition plus a residency permit. Others were throwing $30K a month in living expenses. Southwest Academy wasn't playing around either. They offered a private lab and $300K a year in research funding and said the money was mine whether I showed up or not. That set off Gewu University and Shengtang University. Bro, we make kids choose us first. You're just handing out cash no matter what. But then I said one sentence and the whole crowd went silent. I've decided to repeat the year. Everyone's heads were spinning. Then the reporters smelled blood and came rushing in. Lu Chuan, why are you turning down college? My eyes lit up. Exactly what I was waiting for. This year's exam was too easy. I didn't even use half my ability and still got a perfect score. The moment that interview aired, the entire country went off, especially students who had to take the exam the following year, who blasted me straight onto the trending list. And the exam committee experts were fuming. Who does this kid think he is? We only have a little bit of skill? After the interview, prize money from organizations across the province added up to 1.5 million. Once that news spread, the internet blew up again. People were saying, now we know why he's not going to college. Retaking it next year is basically just printing money. I didn't sweat any of the hate online. I had a date with my school's top girl, Yingwen. We'd had a thing going on for a while. She had been holding off because of the exam. But now that I was the top scorer, we made it official. A year flew by. On exam day of the second year, I'd barely stepped on campus when reporters were already in my face. Someone asked, "What score are you expecting this time?" I just smiled. I mean, probably a perfect score, barely. The reporter was internally losing it, already had the headline locked in. Perfect score prodigy goes for round 2, guarantees another sweep. Another reporter jumped in. Last year, you called out the exam committee, they got mad, and this year the test is noticeably harder. A lot of students are upset. Is there any misunderstanding here? I kept it cool. No misunderstanding. I'm not targeting the committee. I'm saying everyone here is trash. The reporters were speechless. This dude has absolutely zero chill. Then someone noticed the girl who'd been standing next to me the whole time and blurted out, "Lu Chuan, who's she?" I didn't hide it. I grabbed Yingwen's hand and said she's my girlfriend. The reporters immediately realized drama is still content. Cameras started going crazy. A photo like this could easily boost clicks by dozens of percentage points. The exam kicked off right on schedule, and everything played out just like I thought. See the question, answer appears. No chance of getting it wrong. This time, I even switched up my writing style, and the calligraphy still hit like it could start its own school. Both proctors kept glancing over at me. Watching me write non-stop without a single pause, they couldn't help but get curious. One of them got up to do a lap around the room, walked past my desk, looked at my test, and just stood there frozen. A 19-year-old with handwriting like this? Is this what a genius actually looks like? Then he saw the essay prompt and finally understood the committee's move. Continue the story of Dream of the Red Chamber. Minimum 600 characters. The proctor was a huge fan of the novel and knew exactly how brutal this was. Countless people had tried to write a sequel, and none of them came close. But then he watched me put pen to paper without a second of hesitation, and his expression just kept shifting. By the time I'd filled every last line of the page, he was practically itching out of his skin. When the other students saw me turn in early again, they all rolled their eyes. Why is this show-off always doing this, and can you just be normal? 5 days later, the exam wrapped up and grading began. But the teachers all agreed. None of them felt qualified to grade my essay. They had no choice but to escalate it to the expert review panel. Literary legend Zhang Menglin took one look at my paper and could not sit still. He stared at the page, barely holding it together. This is clearly unfinished. How does it just cut off here? As a hardcore Red Chamber fan, this was physically painful for him. But the exam only gave so much paper. Chen Qiu tried to calm him down. This isn't a literary seminar. Then he carefully asked, "So, what score do you think it deserves?" Zhang Menglin slumped back on the couch and said 2 words. Full marks. Days later, grading finished and scores dropped. Unsurprisingly, I was the top scorer in the country again. The haters online immediately cried foul. There's no way anyone could pull off a Red Chamber continuation like that. This has to be rigged.